All right, we are live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Welcome back. Took a little break from the last one. And we are firing this up again. We were just talking some House of Hardcore. Now we're catching up from Impact Wrestling from last week. So before we get into that, just want to remind you folks, smash that like button, smash the sub button, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. Did I screw that up? I probably really screwed that up. This is why I should not drink and podcast live. Can you edit this out later? No? Not in the mood. You suck. Thank you. Why do I hire you? I don't remember. Anyways. Oh, Impact Wrestling. So we are, 4 weeks away from Slammiversary. Very stoked for that. Very excited. We're going to see what is it? Oh, they filmed from a new location. This coming week is going to be the Windsor, Ontario. I believe that's where it was, where they just did their last tapings a few weeks ago. So we'll see 4 weeks of that leading up to Slammiversary, which then will be again live in Canada, somewhere in Canada. So can't wait for that. Man, just another solid episode of Impact. My only constructive criticism, we'll just get it right off the bat, is that it seemed like they should have mixed up a little bit of the content. And I mean that as in they had like 3 little promos like in a row towards the end of the episode. They could have like placed them better throughout the episode. Would have made the episode flow just a little better. Other than that, the content, great content. That's the only thing I would have done. So let's talk about this. And if you don't catch all of this live, remember, folks, you can catch all of this later at rantwithant.com. Go check out that site. Ant and the guys are building their own little empire over there, similar to Andre Corbeil and wrestlingwithwrestling.com. It's so awesome to be part of both of those families. I don't take either for granted. I get a lot of love from both, a lot of support. So this is going to be a fun summer, being a part of both families. So I humbly thank both. If I haven't done it in a while, I humbly thank both for being a part of this. So let's talk about this. Let's kind of just jump all over the place. Let's talk about the promos, because I feel like the promo work that they're doing, like the backstage segments, are just bar none phenomenal. It's some of the best stuff they do. I think some of it is Lucha Underground inspired, and I don't see that as they're copying Lucha Underground. No, I don't see that as a bad, because I love Lucha Underground. So if I see something as in that looks like that was like Lucha Underground inspired or whatever, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's a negative thing. No, if you're trying to do production and backstage segments, promos, whatever, with that good a quality, bonus, because there are billion-dollar companies out there that can't even shoot a promo in a hallway. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, oh, he's shooting on the WWE. He's going to get banned from YouTube. You know what I got to say about that? All right. It's thirsty tonight. It's really thirsty. Let's talk about Let's talk about that Eddie Edwards promo first, where he busts in his house, or what looks like it's supposed to be his house. Is it his house? I guess it's his own house. He goes in, he's looking for his wife. He's pissed off because he thinks, and what they didn't say before, they said it like after, like Matthews and Callis were talking about him. Something about Eddie Edwards being jealous of his wife and thinks that she's spending time with Tommy. Ooh, that's juicy stuff. Alex Magic is in the chat, says New Japan has put a match on their YouTube page, Big Van Vader versus Stan Hansen. I will go check that out. Yes, very sad that Big Van Vader passed away this past week. Very sad. But yes, thank you for the tip. I will go check that out. And welcome to the chat. Hope you hang out for the rest of it. Eddie Edwards losing his mind lately. Absolutely losing his mind, and I'm loving it. I love how we're seeing what started with a violent attack on him has now evolved into a complete downward spiral of Eddie Edwards' character on Impact Wrestling. And I think he's doing it well, and that's my opinion. I don't think everybody's probably going to have the same opinion. I know this is getting compared a lot to Gargano / Ciampa's feud. There are some similarities, but they're both similar as in, okay, so-and-so's wife is involved. It's become very violent, but this is a lot more promo driven, as in the Gargano Ciampa stuff is much more like episode / live driven. Like we're getting this every week. The Gargano Ciampa stuff has been going on since over a year ago now. But it hasn't been overdone. It's been like the trickle effect because Ciampa was injured for a while. So I think they're doing a great job. So Eddie Edwards is looking all over his wife. He's screaming mad. Then goes up to a mirror. He's wiping his eyes. He's looking at the reflection. It's not coming in clear. All of a sudden, it's almost like a throwback to when Hogan sees Ultimate Warrior as a reflection in the mirror. That's my first thing that popped in my head when I saw that, which I kind of laughed at, but I still thought it was cool. He sees Sami Callihan as a reflection, smashes the mirror, and then he just loses his mind even more. He's just absolutely mad. And this is also reflecting off of my last video talking about House of Hardcore, Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer thinks he is going to be dealing with Eddie Edwards in the soon to near future. I'm paraphrasing there, but that's pretty much what he said. Robert Does Wrestling Reviews is in the chat. Good evening, sir, to you. Jay, where do you get the idea using the number 5150? LAX, Eddie Van Halen, or reference to the police code? It's a little bit of everything. I like the LAX 5150. It's loco. I love Van Halen. Eazy-E even did a 5150 related thing in one of his solo things. That goes way back to when I was in high school after NWA broke up. So it's a bunch of different things. I just thought the 5150 thing, the crazy thing, was cool. I mean, I'm by far insane. I have my goofy little crazy moments on here. I mean, I could really, lose my shit if I wanted to, but I try to keep it somewhat contained, you know, because otherwise I think I would lose my audience. And what's funny is I actually lost a subscriber during my last video, and I was all excited about going over 470, and now I'm back at 470. You never know what I'm going to get on this channel. So, but nonetheless, everyone watching now, thank you so much for your continued support. Let's get back to this. A to D to D to D. What the hell is he talking about? Let's talk about Impact Wrestling. So yes, love the Eddie Edwards. Love the Eddie Edwards promo. I'm guessing he is going to have some kind of match with Tommy Dreamer coming up at Slammiversary. I can't wait to see how the next 4 weeks evolve with that. And no, I have not looked at any spoilers, nor do I want to know any. So please don't tell me any. I'm asking that nicely, as in, like, don't get yourself banned from my channel or blocked or whatever. I've been pretty lucky with that. You know, no one goes out of their way to, like, you know, throw any like crazy stupid stuff my way. So let's keep it that way. Promo stuff. Conan returns to the clubhouse after LAX wins back their tag team championship. Let's talk about the match a little bit, and then we'll talk about the Conan returning to the clubhouse. That, in my opinion, and just my only other little constructive criticism. Oh my Lord, please don't drink when you podcast live anymore. Please don't. It's just, you're so silly. My only constructive criticism, can't say it, of where they play stuff is when they opened up with that tag team match for the Impact Wrestling tag team titles. Oof, that's a mouthful too. Z&E lost their match against LAX. That match, in my opinion, after watching it back a couple times before I reviewed this, probably should have headlined this. But I understand why they placed Pentagon and Sami Callihan and OVE and Phantasma in the main event. It's a bigger name. But that match, wow. Yeah, I'm not going to sit there and, they did this and they did this and they did this. You're not going to get that from me. And I've said it over and over again. I will point out specific things if they pop in my head about, that one, you know, Tope con, holy shit, they dove all over the place move, you know, whatever. Callis is really good at that. Don Callis, you know, where Matthews is not as good as calling certain moves from international wrestlers, be it Japan or Mexican. Don Callis fills in those blanks very nicely. The Tope con Hilo, whatever, it's like, you know, he comes up with all these because he sees a lot of Japanese wrestlers, and New Japan use them too. So he just flows with them, and I'm sure Matthews is like, you know, where does he get this? And Don Callis is like, well, that's what it's called. So it's just great. Tremendous match. And I think I said this a week or two ago. It's very interesting how a year ago we had two, or you know, give or take a little bit, we had two tag teams in Impact Wrestling. No, go away. I'm busy. Still busy. You bugged me the last video. Yeah. Shush. You are rude. And now she scratches at the door. Shit. Anyways, life with cats, folks. Love me, love my cats. This is why I lock the door now. Damn. The hell is I talking about? Don Callis, Matthews, tag team wrestling. Tag team wrestling. I knew I was going to get it. The a year ago, we had 2 tag teams wrestling constantly against each other in Impact Wrestling. They did not have much of a division. Now we have tag teams all over the place. And I have to say that Impact Wrestling is one of the better, maybe not the, it's all a matter of opinion, definitely one of the better ones as far as tag team wrestling. Whereas, like I said, other companies are, now resorting to food fights to fill time slots instead of wrestling. It's embarrassing, folks, what tag team wrestling has become. Rhino just sitting in the ring eating bologna sandwiches. It's like, really? Is that the best you can do? Come on. Let's You've got 30 writers backstage, and we came up with Rhino's going to eat bologna sandwiches and do a close-up too. Ooh, that's what I want to see is bologna sandwiches, 3D, and Rhino's face. So I just want to say thank you, Impact Wrestling, for just doing better in tag team wrestling in general, overall. Just to sum that up. So yeah, okay. So get so emotional. So LAX wins back the tag team titles. Interesting fact that I do want to put about that match is that Kingston, whatever you want to call him, we'll call him King. They're calling him King now. We'll keep it short and sweet. We'll call him King. As much as a heel as he's kind of being portrayed, because he does seem kind of shady, LAX won those matches clean. He didn't interfere. And if he did do anything, it was before the match like officially started, because it started out outside the ring, and then it was a little bit of chair shots and stuff like that. But then when it got in the ring, it was all legit, high flying stuff. It was tremendous. Agent's back in the chat. Good evening, Agent. How you doing? The police code, yes, 5150. So LAX has their championships back. Conan walks in, and they are all excited to see Conan back in the clubhouse. And he is he's very solemn. He's very yeah, I'm back, but I want to find out why. It hasn't been it hasn't been revealed what exactly happened to him. We may find that out, as far as like old footage or something. And I hope it's nothing campy like, oh, I found footage of who attacked me or something like that. Because we've seen that a million times doing other stuff. I hope it's just, I don't know. I just hope it flows better. But he doesn't trust King, and King's acting kind of shady. And King's trying to act like he's supporting Conan in his return. And hey, if you got anything, if you think you know what's going on, Conan's just not happy to be. He's happy to be back. I'm sure he's happy to see his boys, Santana and Ortiz. I'm sure he's happy about them, but he doesn't trust King like what's her name? Diamante? I think that's her name. Diamante doesn't trust him either. And she hasn't said exactly why either. Agent says Kingston and Homicide were a tag team in Ring of Honor, never won the belts. Yeah, they won those they wore those crazy clown masks, those really freaky ones. That was flipping cool. They were a badass team in Ring of Honor. So yeah, I kind of know what's happening soon, but I'm not sure exactly how it's happening or when it's happening. But something is obviously building in the next 4 weeks leading up to Slammiversary. I've talked a little bit about this before. I don't really want to say anything else about it. Just kind of let the pieces fall where they fall. If you follow wrestlingwithwrestling.com and you follow Andre Corbeil, you know what's happening. That's all I'm going to say with that. So, but it should be a lot of fun. There's a big tag team war coming. So let's just say that some people are returning to the company. All right, which makes it even more interesting. And it's all 5150, folks. It's all loco. It's all crazy. Crazy, and loco. Tequila, paper everywhere. And hoes. Oh, my God, the hoes. The hoes are ridiculous in the clubhouse. I am sorry. This show is being brought to you tonight by someone who should not drink anymore while doing live shows. No, I'm kidding. We're just having fun. We're catching up. We're being loose. We're just being silly. So yeah, can't wait to see what comes down the road for Conan and the whole LAX crew and King and Diamante and maybe a couple comebacks. We'll see. Killer Cross. Killer effing Cross. Wow. The 2 minutes of this show this week is probably what I was looking forward to the most. And that 2 minutes is so valuable for what's coming down the road, folks. It's just a little piece of what you're going to see coming down the road from Killer Cross, which he likes to be called Killer Cross now. It's not Kevin Cross. It's Killer Cross. You better call him Mr. Killer Cross. I'm sure that's what's on his address. Killer Cross. Like, did the whole name change and everything. Would not doubt it for a minute. Vegas was probably like, what's on his address? Yeah. But yeah, that promo he cut, that little interview, priceless. Yes, the Toll Man, exactly, Agent. You get me another one? No, I probably shouldn't. Yeah. Put this over here. Switch to water. Ooh. We're getting dangerous now. Chaser. Yeah. All right. So yeah, Killer Cross. Great stuff. Can't wait to see. No clue. It's been completely unimaginable who he's been attacking, who he's who's next on his list. I don't know. I'm loving this. No. Loving it though. I did do my research on how cool this guy is. He is. Like I said, go look up Kevin Cross's YouTube channel. And it's a few years old, and just pick different things. Just whether it's a match, his matches from FSW Vegas? That's based out of Vegas. And the promos he did, or even like what he did for House of Hardcore. Just in the short time he was with Tommy Dreamer's company. Priceless. My favorite thing that literally gave me goosebumps was when he was on the outside of like a giant like warehouse door. And he was saying, little pig, let me come. And when he said in, he bashed his head on the door and it was a big rattle. And it just was like, it made you, if you weren't expecting it, it made you jump. And it's like, how do I say this? Cross is doing things in promos and in wrestling that are like just eye-popping. And no one is doing this stuff. No one is shocking people. No one is giving... When's the last time you got goosebumps from something in professional wrestling? probably not too many times, unless there's like a big favorite of yours that you watch constantly. Well, Cross is one of those guys that I guarantee you you're gonna get goosebumps a hell of definitely a few more times this year from no matter where he's doing it from, or if he's doing it for House of Hardcore stuff, Impact, AAA with Mad. He's on Lucha Underground too, folks. Oh yeah. And that stuff is just gonna be ridiculous. I can't wait till he shows up in there. And that's even gonna be supernatural based stuff. So can't wait. Like I said, that 2 minutes is so critical to what's coming down the road for this show. You guys are going to just absolutely, you guys are going to have to, probably purchase some adult diapers. Desi Hit Squad is coming soon. It's just a real brief thing. And I think it's a bunch of guys based out of Canada. So we're probably going to see them on the next 4 weeks, stuff that was taped up in Canada. So, and one of the guys has been featured recently, and I'm going to forget his name. Raju, not Ragu, Raju. And I can't think of his first name. He's the guy that won the competition a handful of months ago. Can't think of it. Drawing a blank. Someone in the chat down the road will tell me what it was, but Raju's part of it, and they're all Indian guys, obviously. So it's another stable, which is obviously going to add to the X division and or the tag team division bonus right there. So can't wait to see what that is. Let's talk about, okay, so that's pretty much the promo stuff. Then we had some comedy. Excuse me. Some comedy ensuing with the whole KM trying to call out Falaba. Oh my goodness. Ba comes out, drops a note out of his armpit. Can't remember the last time we saw anybody do anything with an armpit in professional wrestling. Well, folks, Falaba did it. Ba. Both Matthews and Callis were like, that's disgusting. Oh, it's too damn funny. Hands Cam a note, which he's like trying to read this. Reads it out loud, then shows the camera because it looks like child's writing, which honestly doesn't look like any better than what I write. So I was like, hey, that's my writing. What? I'm doing something. No. Just give me a minute. I'm almost done here. Okay? All right. Thank you. Freaking cats. Do you have cats? Would you like a cat? So KM then is like, oh, well, the standby wrestler is going to come out and face me instead of you. So he's expecting, what's his name? Richard Justice. I really don't have any comments about him. It's like everything he's come out for has been like comical or whatever. But we don't get Dick Justice or Richard Justice, excuse me. Oh. We get Scott Steiner, which I don't remember if he got a pop or not, but Matthews and Callis were excited for him, I think. And I was not real excited for this, but he did what? No, I am not talking about Prince Puma. Go away. He's not with Don't make me explain it again. No. Only when I'm live, folks. All right. We're just going to continue here. So, short and sweet. Scott Steiner kicks KM's ass. There you go. There's your match. It was entertaining. It was comical. It's hard to take KM seriously because he is involved in so many comical things. But when they said that he lost 30 pounds recently, I was like, I'd like to lose 30 pounds recently. Or and in the near future. Absolutely. I would love to lose about 50 to 70 pounds. That'd be perfect. Then I would actually be able to show off abs. Yes. Just like Papa Pump does. Wouldn't that be great? No, I wouldn't show them on here, for crying out loud. You don't want to look at my abs. No, absolutely. I am not that sexy, folks. All right, what's next? Cam. Oh, then we get an announcement that Impact Wrestling is airing in Mexico. That's good. That's just another example of how this brand is extending their worldwide basis. Great news for Impact Wrestling. Congrats on that. Great knockouts match between Taya Valkyrie and Madison Rayne. Really, I am a bigger fan of Taya Valkyrie than I am of Madison Rayne. I was never that big a fan of Madison Rayne, but I am enjoying her comeback. And it's going to be very interesting to see how the next 4 weeks pan out because she is facing Su Yung for the Knockouts Championships at Championship. Only one. Championship at Slammiversary. And also more mentions of All In with Tessa, Madison, and Don Callis being at All In. So, very interesting. Not too many. I mean, obviously, the Bullet Club and all those guys are mentioning it on Ring of Honor television. But it's also very interesting that Matthews is mentioning Madison Rayne, Tessa Blanchard, and Don Callis being at All In. It makes you wonder if and how Impact Wrestling is going to be involved in the show. Like, besides just people being there. Or you wonder if they had to get permission to talk about it. Probably not. It's just really cool that you're seeing bits of New Japan, bits of Ring of Honor, bits of Impact Wrestling. The NWA is being represented. All these different companies kind of like meshing together for this. I mean, primarily it's Cody and the Young Bucks putting this on, but they're incorporating lots of little entities along the way, along with all the StarCast stuff. So, and I know there's even more people from Impact Wrestling involved in the StarCast part of it, but they're not on the All In show, which is interesting. But obviously they're going to have to get the they're going to have to get the booking done on this soon. Talking about the knockouts. Madison Rayne beats Taya Valkyrie. Good match. And they show Su Yung in a short clip looking down from the rafters. Kind of reminded me of Sting. A little throwback there. Kind of cool. And then Madison Rayne grabs the mic at the end and says, management has informed me that if I beat Taya, I can challenge Su Yung for the Knockouts Championship. She gets a little pop for that. And then we get very creepy lighting, very creepy, the very loud, haunting, how do I say it? Haunting cackle of Su Yung almost sounds like it was like run backwards, like evil, demonic, something. Just I like it. You know, you don't see a lot of that stuff lately. So just little things like that, you know, especially in a live show and not even in a post-produced thing. No, they did it live there. That was kind of cool. So no, she didn't jump down from the rafters at all. They just changed the lighting, played the laugh, and it was cool. You know, it just added something. Like I'm sure it like freaked the audience out a little bit. That audience though. Okay, we're gonna sidetrack this just for a second, and we'll talk about the main event. We'll wrap this up. That audience was so back and forth, and I've heard other people comment on social media about the Impact audience and the Impact Zone down in Florida. Man, you know, and I understand sometimes, you know, you sit through a lot of tapings, you're not digging everything that's in front of you, but man, when you got like 5 people in the front row losing their mind and everyone behind them is sitting on their hands, I don't know what kind of deal Impact still has with Orlando, but man, I really hope they can do more stuff in other places somewhere within the next year, because that Impact audience, man, you know, they play stuff from classic TNA matches. And it seemed like they had at least a few thousand people at some of those shows. Those crowds were nonstop, like ruckus, loud, like crazy. You know, back in the Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniel, AJ Styles days, you know, back 10 plus years ago. Man, it was a crazy ass house. And looking what it is now in Orlando, it's like, man, they're not even close to that. And they sit on their hands through like 90% of it. And it's, I mean, they, you know, they like Pentagon and they do some chanting, but man, they just sit so much. And it's frustrating. It's like, you know, you're supposed to hear pops. You're supposed to hear boos when certain people come out, even mid-carders, something and nothing. It's like, damn. I really hope they can. And that's not a knock on Impact. Everybody puts in 110%. I'm not saying like, you know, someone came out and did a shitty job so they didn't get any attention. No, that's not it at all. It's the audience that's just like complacent. I don't know how else to say it. They need to move. The new Impact Zone is a lot smaller. Yeah, there might have been a bigger studio in the past, but still, I mean, they got room for people and they're just not putting them in there. It just, hell, even a year ago, they had a few more sections of bleachers and there's even less now. It's just, I don't know. It's sad. It's like the audience is watching and there's like no one there. I just hope they can change that in the future. That's all I'm saying. Not knocking the the place fits around 200 people or less and have horrible acoustics. Robert, have you been at any of those? I'm not sure where you're located at. Just curious. But anyways, but yeah, I hope they can change that. You know, they deserve a bigger audience. I think the product is changing to the point where they should have a bigger TV viewing audience, whatever. You know what I mean? TV filming audience, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, just my thoughts on that. And I know I'm not the only one thinking that. Oh, okay. So you were there a while back. Okay. Cool. Puerto Rico. Nice. All right. OVE versus Phantasma and Pentagon. Hell of a tag match. Very violent towards the end. They tried to rip off Pentagon's mask. Sami Callihan, of course, getting involved. It's so hard when it's a 3-on-2, you know, the odds are against them. I thought maybe you get someone else out there to help them. That wasn't the case here, but interesting. It's interesting how it's shifted from Eddie Edwards and Callihan to now Eddie Edwards and Tommy Dreamer, and now the shift from Callihan is switched over to Pentagon, which now coming up this week, we're going to see a match from PCW. And I saw this promoted some weeks ago where it's Callihan said something to the effect of Pentagon's following him wherever he goes. And I've seen the two booked together at a lot of different places. MLW out on the West Coast, Lucha Underground. Oh, no, that's different. It's Pentagon Dark and Jeremiah Crane. Completely different. Yeah. But yeah, you do see them together at a lot of shows, depending on what company it is. So, but yeah, so it's funny. You know? So Callahan's like, oh yeah, Pentagon's following me everywhere. This punk, you know, he's well, what does he say? He says Pentagon is riding his coattails. Priceless. So we're gonna see that this week. That's about the only preview I got. I'm sure they said, oh, Rich Swann is going to be on the show. First appearance. Now, he has appeared on a Twitch taping. One I talked about, the Wrestling Revolver. That's Sammy's company. It was out in Iowa, Idaho, somewhere out there. I reviewed it recently. You can go back and watch it. But that was Swann's first appearance in anything Impact related. Now he's actually part of the company, and he's going to be doing his debut this week with Impact Wrestling. So very excited about that. Can't wait to see him. I have no doubt he's going to help the X Division. Not that the X Division needs help. They have a ton of talent, but it's always nice to incorporate new people once in a while. And very excited about seeing Rich Swann as part of Impact Wrestling. So congrats to Rich Swann. I'm glad you didn't retire. Can't wait to see what you do. So that's pretty much it. That's my thoughts on the whole Impact Wrestling from this past week. I'm sorry it wasn't live. It was late. It's because my kids were here and I was spending time with them, so I figured I'll catch up everything late Sunday night. And yes, it is very late. It's after midnight here. It's past my bedtime. No, not really, but so yeah, leave your thoughts below on this week's Impact Wrestling. Thanks for putting up with me and all my, beer drinking goofiness. I just kind of letting loose. It's the end of the week. Just, catching up. Haven't been on here in a while. Being goofy. So hope you dig it. Like I said, smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. And go check out rantwithant.com if you didn't catch all of this live. If you caught it late, and go check out the rest of the podcasts on there. A lot of new content coming on there. Some new folks joining the Rant with Ant family. Very excited about that. And don't forget, folks, thanks to them, as you see in the description below, I do have t-shirts. Let me know if you get one. Show it off, and I'll retweet the hell out of you. Hell yeah, I'll give you. I'll thank you on social media. Will be much appreciated. And yeah, plenty more great stuff on rantwithant.com. New all-in t-shirts. They are going to be all in, folks. I will be there too, but I'm not all in. I'm just going to be there. So yeah, go check it out. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you down the road real soon. Good night.